everyone, welcome to another edition of Where the 99 Lead, a program brought to you by the University of Pikeville, and the title of the show, Where the 99 Lead. They lead from the University of Pikeville campus and also to the University of Pikeville campus, those historic 99 steps. Incoming freshmen, they walk those 99, and many of those graduates walk those 99 back into the community and into the world. We talk many different subjects on the show: athletics, academics, many different programs, the Elliott College of Nursing, the Patton College of Education, the Coleman College of Business, ChiCom, Kentucky College of Optometry, many different subjects, courses, and programs throughout the university. And today we take the 99 truly into the world as we talk about international studies and international students at the University of Pikeville. Welcome in Director of International Student and Scholar Services at UPike, Diane Whittier. Welcome in.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Great to have you here as we talk about international students. And for those that are tuned in that may not have even known, there are international students truly from international places, global places,
Yes.
that are students. And how many international students do we have there?
We have 40 international students on campus this semester for fall.
Very good. We're going to talk about each one of those.
Oh, great.
No, not really. We don't have time. It's a
We'd love
half-hour
to.
show. But Diane, we would love to be able to do that. But we're going to talk about some stories, and
Sure.
a little later we will meet a couple of those students. First, let's talk about Diane. Let's talk about your background and just a brief introduction for those that are tuned in.
I have always been passionate about international studies. I did a study abroad when I was 17, my first one to Costa Rica, and I loved it so much that I made sure that I could go on another one.
Yeah.
And the second one I went to was to Jerusalem, Israel.
Wow.
And I also was privileged to be in a choir that toured Europe for 6 weeks. So I've really got the bug early. And of course, it seemed like I gravitated toward international students always. Some of my best friends and on campus were exchange students, and I really felt welcome and comfortable with them. And they were so interesting and fun to be with. Plus they had great food, so I was hooked.
Sure. Food is, of course, something that draws the entire world
Yes, it does.
together. Before we came on air, we were talking food here in the studio as well. It draws us together. But international students, those are life experiences that are with you forever.
Yes.
You got the bug early on
I
as a
did.
teenager,
Right.
and you still have those memories even from that first study abroad trip.
Mhm. The students that come to the University of Pikeville are embraced and welcomed into the community, and it's been easy to have international students here on the campus. And I really look forward to bringing even more international students.
40 students currently,
Yes,
and they come from how many countries?
11 different countries.
Can you name the countries?
I can. You put me on the spot. Let's see. We have Taiwan, and we have El Salvador, Colombia, Ecuador, Iceland. We have our first student
Wow.
from Iceland. Let's see. Germany, England, Australia. Oh, I'm missing a couple. Help me.
Possibly Brazil.
Oh, Brazil, yes. I have Lice here. Sorry, Lice. From Brazil, and I think there's one more. Which one? New Zealand, yes. So that's all the countries.
Wow. And truly all over the world.
It is. It's truly all over the world. Many of them are brought either for academics or for sports, and that seems to be what they're comfortable with at our campus.
Obviously, they have a benefit of being able to attend the University of Pikeville,
Yes.
participate in athletics or academics or both
Right.
at the university. But I think something that may be lost is the benefit to the university
Oh,
and to the
yes.
student body of the university with each one of these students and the culture they're able to share and the experiences from their country brought to the students here.
Yes, the students do have a lot in common. We find that they worry about the same things. They worry about their brothers and sisters and their friends, or what's going on, with the people that they love. And they like the same music, and of course they share the same food and agonize about the same classes.
Yes.
They have a lot in common. And once you make a friend from another country, I think your world just expands.
International students at the University of Pikeville. There are popular majors on campus with our students that are local or commuting students or residential students here that are from more of the region. But international students, what are some of their favorite courses?
They really gravitate toward business. English is the language of business, so that's a very popular major. Science is also a very popular major as well, because we focus so much on science in the United States, and it brings so much to everything that we do. So those seem to be the most popular. There are a few psychology majors and communication as well.
Interesting. Diane Whittier, Director of International Student and Scholar Services at the University of Pikeville, our guest today. We talk international students, and a little later you'll have a chance to meet two of those international students currently enrolled at the University of Pikeville. Diane, let's talk about how international students are involved on campus.
They really do get involved. They're very self-driven. We have several that join sororities and participate that way, not only in athletics, but any club that might be available, science club, as I said, the sorority club, some of them in student government as well. There's so many things happening on campus. There's hardly ever a weekend that they say that they're bored. They're either traveling with their team, or they're studying, or they're engaged. They're truly engaged
Sure.
in the activities that go on campus.
And UPike is study abroad for these international students. So there are enrichment experiences outside the classroom, outside their athletic teams as well. Talk about some of those.
The new freshman students are enrolled in a humanities class that teaches them about Americana, American culture, and we introduce them to the region. So we take field trips that are in the region. So, for example, we went to the Mountain Arts Center. At Christmas time, we go to the Nutcracker Ballet.
Wow.
We go to Kings Island. Who doesn't love Kings Island? It's just a fun place to go.
Absolutely.
And last week we went to Frankfurt to tour the capital and to learn about the museums and the Kentucky history. And they have also gone to the local Pikeville Museum, where they can see all of the things that are there. They were really interested in the coal mining section, and the Indian section is very popular for them as well. So we really try to immerse them in all the beautiful things that we have in Eastern Kentucky.
So much is here to share, and it is part of our culture. And I would imagine they share their culture with fellow students as well.
They
As they're
do.
talking culture, it takes them back to how is their culture different.
Yeah, and how is it the same as
Yeah.
well? Mrs. Webb has been very generous, and she's invited the international students to her home. And so Kay and Burton Webb allow the students to cook things from home at their house. So it's very fun to go there. You'll find anything from curry to tacos to mango lassi. There's just all kinds of different food that's prepared, and the students share it with each other and with, their invited guests as well. So that's very popular. Every once in a while you need to make something from home.
Sure, absolutely. Of course, international students a long way from home. Long weekends, fall break, holidays. It's impossible or nearly impossible for them to travel home on those types of long weekends or extended times. What do the international students do during those times?
We really encourage them to get out in the community. Many of them go home with friends that are on their team or they're in classes with. Plus, we try to take trips, like during fall break, we went to Kings Island, for example. Thanksgiving, there's community members and my home that are open to the international students to enjoy the Thanksgiving with a family.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't think of a better time than to enjoy a Thanksgiving with an Eastern Kentucky family. You'll be definitely fed, and it will be a great time. Another thing that we have joined at the University of Pikeville is there's a Christmas house. And so the students apply to this program, and they usually pick 5 to 12 different cities that the students can attend. And the cost is very inexpensive. It's just their transportation cost. but they actually go spend Christmas with the American family if they'd like to.
Wow.
So we've been involved in the Christmas House. This will be our second year in that program, and we have several that have taken advantage of the Christmas House as well.
Diane Whittier, Director of International Student and Scholar Services at the University of Pikeville, our guest, and coming up you'll have a chance to meet two of our international students from campus. But Diane, obviously UPike is a benefit to these students, academically, athletically. International students on campus, let's talk about the benefits that brings to the students, the overall campus atmosphere, to the faculty even, to have these students on campus.
Yes, as I've said, the students are very self-driven. They are engaged. I have found that international students are really experiential learners. They like to do things hands-on. So I think our students here find that they're very easy to make friends with, and once they have an international student for a friend, then they want to travel as well. So they want to be able to experience the world. We have some great things in the area, but you can only be culturally enriched if you go outside your little box. So you have to be flexible. And I think the flexibility that our international students offer, they've been very brave and got on a plane and gone clear across an ocean to arrive.
Sure.
And they're safe and they're happy here, and they are learning, and the degree that they earn is of significant value where in their home country. So I think that on campus they just bring a diversity and another perspective that we wouldn't otherwise see. It's great to learn about Australia, but if you actually meet someone from Australia and they tell you about whatever happened in Australia, then you sort of have a better understanding of what it means.
Sure.
So that has been a huge benefit, and I know that the professors enjoy having international students in their classes just because there's a different viewpoint. It's so similar. We are so similar. We all worry about the same things, but it's just the perspective, and the perspective is important.
Indeed. What attracts international students to the University of Pikeville?
We have a very good niche market. By saying that, I mean that our campus is small. We have a good academic program. We're known for our excellent professors. We have a safe environment. We have a welcoming community. Sometimes when a student goes to a larger campus, they get lost. They feel like they become a number, or they have many students that are from their home country, so they continue to talk the language that they know. For example, if you have a number of any students, whether they're Vietnamese or Spanish or Chinese or Japanese, if you're with other students from that same area, you tend to talk to them more in your native language. Here, I think especially the students that arrive, the language of instruction is in English, and it's really important in business to be able to speak good English and to be able to communicate effectively. So I think we are a perfect fit for someone who wants to get a very well-rounded liberal arts education. This is a perfect fit.
Indeed. 40 international students currently on campus at the University of Pikeville, and that program seems to grow year after year.
It is growing, and we are really grateful for that opportunity. I know that there's been a change of leadership in our country, and we were all wondering how that would go, but we seem to be holding our own in Kentucky. I just came back from a conference, and there's approximately 10,000 international students studying in Kentucky, and that is a great opportunity for our communities to engage with their international students.
Diane Whittier, thanks for being with us. We're going to meet a couple of the students.
Yes, I look forward to having you meet Oscar and Lice.
They're coming up next. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back with more. You're tuned to Where the 99 Lead. Welcome back in. Where the 99 Lead. Today we focus on international studies and international students at the University of Pikeville. Thanks so much, Diane Whittier, with us, as she is the director of course, International Student and Scholar Services at UPike, joined now by international students at the University of Pikeville. First, Oscar Pacheco, a student athlete from El Salvador. Welcome to the show.
Hello, and thanks for the opportunity to be here.
Oscar, of course, welcome to UPike as well. Let's find out a little about you. Tell us where you're from and what you're majoring in.
Oh, okay, I'm from El Salvador, and my major is business management.
Business management. What do you plan to do with that?
I plan to get a master's degree when I'm done, and then hopefully have my own business when I'm older.
Very good. And you are a student athlete.
Yes.
Student comes first, but the athlete's an important part as well.
Yeah.
You're a soccer player at
Yes.
UPike.
Yes.
And you guys are wrapping up the season very soon, preparing to finish up the season. How has being a student athlete expanded, enhanced your experience at UPike?
Well, I think that's like maybe the best part for me, being a student athlete, because actually in my country it's hard to do that. And I'm really glad to be here at UPike because they allowed me to do both activities. And being a student athlete helped me a lot with friends, you know, and also when I'm feeling homesick and all that, sport is always there to support me, also with my friends, the coaches and everything. So I think it's the best of both worlds. So
What's been the toughest transition, classroom or soccer field?
probably classroom, because soccer I think is a universal language. So when you go to the field, it doesn't matter where you're from. It's easier to connect with people.
Sure.
Yeah.
Lice Marcelino, biology major from Brazil.
Yes.
Welcome to the show and welcome to UPike. Tell us a little about yourself.
I'm from Brazil, and I'm a biology major here for about 3 years. I'm a junior now, so
You're already a junior.
yes.
So you've been here a little time. You've already adjusted to the culture here.
Yeah, I have.
And Oscar, you've been here how long now?
I'm a sophomore, so this
You're
is my
sophomore.
second year. Yes.
Second year. You've made some adjustment as well.
Yeah.
Right at home. I have to ask, we talked about food earlier
Yeah.
because it's an international language as well. We talk Chick-fil-A. It's on campus. And our international students are good with Chick-fil-a.
Yes.
I have to ask, one of our cultural foods here, soup, beans, cornbread, gravy. Have you had those?
Yeah, I have.
Are you a fan?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay. Oscar,
I like it. Not a big fan, but I think it's good.
not something you'll find in El Salvador.
No.
No, it's a little different there.
Yes, sir.
As we meet international students, you're just 2 of 40. Let's talk about the international community at UPike. You guys know each other.
Yeah.
And you recognize that, okay, they're not from here, I'm not from here. We have something in common that these others. Do the international students gravitate towards one another? Do they hang out together?
Yeah, I would say so, definitely.
Definitely. You know most of those students. Is it because you have that common bond of being so far away from home?
I would say so, and also most of the international students play sports, so the same sports, so they always hang out together.
Sure, sure. That's those jocks for you. Those athletes, they do. They hang. Oscar, before you arrived at the University of Pikeville, you're deciding where to play soccer
Yes.
and attend college to become a student athlete. You researched several different places, colleges and universities throughout the United States before making a decision where to continue your education. What brought you to choose UPike?
Well, actually, something that helped me a lot, it was another international student. He was from El Salvador too. And in that time, he was the assistant coach. He was doing his master's degree. And he went to El Salvador, and we have a reunion with our family. So that helped a lot. You know, it was easier for my family to decide because we hear about UPike and how everything is here. So it was like a safe place. It's really a beautiful, natural place. And it was a good place to start my career and everything. So actually another international student helped me.
But you certainly did some research
Yes.
before going there and knowing someone who had been here. Made that transition easier and acceptance and brought a comfort level.
Yes.
I would imagine so. Same question to you, Lice. Why did you choose to study here at UPike?
I was actually an exchange student in Paintsville, so I feel like I like the area a lot, and I just wanted to stay around. And it's definitely a good college.
So you've been in the States now for how long?
Since 2014.
See, I noticed when we came on, you've got a little bit of an Eastern Kentucky accent. So you've been here long enough to pick up a little of our language
Yeah, I
as
think
well.
so.
Have other people told you that?
Yeah, you're not the first one.
Okay. I didn't know if it was my ears misguiding me. Of course, your experience in the classroom here in the United States, while you were an exchange student in Paintsville for part of your high school time, but you've been in the classroom in Brazil as well. How is the classroom experience here in the United States different than in Brazil?
You mean more like high school level, or usually professors or teachers, they don't usually, they stay in the same classroom. Here and in Brazil, they just move around a lot, and the students stay in the same classroom. So,
Oscar, same question for you. Classroom academics here versus in El Salvador. How's it different? How's it similar?
Yeah, it's different. I think here, actually, professors take care more about the students, like their will to help everybody. Back home is more individual, like you gotta study by your own, and it's hard to receive some help from or advice from that professors. And I like that of this place, that is really, really good for education.
Like family?
Yeah.
They say that the Yupik community is like a family. Do you feel like you've been accepted here?
Yeah, that's true. Like, it's not hard to, I mean, of course, because we're international, you can be shy and be afraid to talk with someone, but everybody in campus are really nice with you. And since the moment they know you're not from here, they're not trying to make you feel bad. They always go and give you a hand and try to help you with anything you need.
You've been here a couple of years now. Let's talk about what, even though you knew someone who had been here and they had told stories of what it was like when you first arrived here at Pikeville and in Eastern Kentucky, talk about what those first thoughts, those first impressions of the area were.
The first time I remember when I was in the plane, it was shocking just watching just mountains and mountains and mountains. And because you're not used, when you hear about United States, you just think, oh, buildings and everything. But then I arrived to this part that is really amazing. I think it's really cool, like nature and everything. And then when you get to meet the people, you can realize that they're different. Like, I have some relative in Houston, and I've been down there, and I can see the difference between how people live, speak, and everything. So my first thought, actually, I was kind of surprised that they were like warm people, and everything was so calm. Even like my country is so, like, it was a lot of movement and people and traffic and buildings and everything, and here is the opposite. So it was really peaceful.
Little laid back. Little laid back here. Lice, going to ask you the same question. You've been here a little longer, spent some time in Paintsville as well. Paintsville and Pikeville, not that different. Similar, small Eastern Kentucky towns, but when you first arrived in Eastern Kentucky, what was your impression?
yeah, I feel like it's the same as Oscar. In Brazil, it's like everything's a lot more chaotic, and here is just a lot more calm. And I'm used to 600,000 people in the city, and not 10,000, but I like it a lot.
Sure. It's a little slower way of life.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's been the biggest hurdle to overcome culturally?
Maybe the language, I would say. It was kind of hard at first because you can't communicate the way you actually want to.
Sure.
Yeah.
And finding the right phraseologies and things like that. How about for you, Oscar? What's been the most difficult challenge for you culturally?
The same, I think, the language, and also like, I think like feeling homesick sometimes, missing family and all that. So those two can make like not a good combination, but you can learn how to live with that, and then everything gets better.
What do you do when you're homesick?
I usually go and talk with my friends and international friends, because probably they're feeling the same.
Sure.
I mean, that's true what Ms. Diane said, that we all have the same problems, and that make it easy to create like a bond, like a familiar bond with all the internationals.
Lace, you're a biology major. What are your career goals?
I plan on going to graduate school, hopefully medical school.
So you'd like to go into the medical field, obviously. Oscar, how about you? Career goals? I know you want to get that master's, but after that, what's up for you?
I'm aiming to keep playing soccer. You know, looking in America, I want to stay here and go and do some tryouts for teams, and also keep the education. Try to do both things
Yeah.
at the same time.
Biology major, it's a tough major, challenging academically. Med school would obviously be challenging academically, but we always like to ask students that are a part of the show what your favorite classes are and your least favorite classes. Lace, do you have a favorite course?
I do. It's histology. I'm taking it right now, and I really enjoy it.
How about least favorite course?
I would say math class.
Math?
Yeah, I don't like math.
Yeah. You have that in common with a lot of people. They typically they lean toward English majors. Oscar, how about you? You're a business major,
Yes.
and obviously you're having some business courses. Favorite course?
So far, I really enjoy accounting and
Accounting.
microeconomics. They're really good.
So you're a numbers guy.
Kind of.
How about least favorite?
Having some problems with my composition class, writing a lot.
And writing, and writing,
And writing.
and writing. Those English professors are that way. They, some reason they want you to compose multiple times. Oscar, thanks so much for being with us. Soccer at the University of Pikeville, it's a growing sport.
Yes.
Let's talk about the team.
I mean, I like the team a lot. First, because of the quality of the people they have, not just like in soccer related, but human beings, coaches, they're always there for us. And also the soccer community, the players. We have a lot of internationals now, so it's getting better every year. And the relationship, and also the American guys, they always are there with us. They try to learn some Spanish or the language we
Sure.
speak. So it's like a good community, another family. So
Very good.
I'm glad to be here.
Oscar, thanks so much for being with us. Oscar Pacheco, business major from El Salvador. Lace Marcelino, biology major from Brazil. Some may remember you from your time at Paintsville, right down the road. You feel like an Eastern Kentuckian. You've got a little bit of the accent as well. Thanks for being with us. Good
Thank
luck
you.
to both of you in your future, and thanks for
Thank
being
you.
here.
Thanks.
You've been tuned to Where the 99 Lead. International students, Lace Marcelino and Oscar Pacheco. Of course, Diane Whittier, the Director of International Student and Scholar Services, our guest on this edition of Where the 99 Lead, a program brought to you by the University of Pikeville, the leading university of Central Appalachia. Thanks for tuning in.